Alright guys, it is time for another project video. At this point, I actually have 3 different projects running simultaneously. In this bag right here, I have my Brembo brake calipers, which are soaking in powder coat stripper, and they are coming along nicely. I just checked on them about 5 minutes ago. I scrubbed them down with a wire brush and added more stripper, so those are looking very nice. I should be able to start rebuilding them very soon. Behind me here, I have my wheels that I'm going to Plastidip, and I'm going to start that in a minute, but before I do, I have my tow hooks here. This is my rear tow hook and my front tow hook. These are in pretty rough shape. I need to strip off this powder coat. As you can see, it's completely peeling off, and they're rusted, so I need to treat that as well. So before I get started on my wheels here, because that's going to take some time, I want to at least scrape off as much of this powder coat as I can and get this soaking as powder coat stripper as well, so that way it's working while I'm working on my wheels. Now, these tow hooks are in much worse shape than my brake calipers for 2 primary reasons. Firstly, Brembo is a top-of-the-line company, and it's evident that they did a top-of-the-line powder coat job on their brake calipers. And secondly is your brake calipers are aluminum where this is steel. The problem is a rock hits this and it will chip the powder coat, and that allows water to get in behind the powder coat and rust everything else. So you could see on this side that it's actually wavy because there's rust underneath this powder coat. So I have to strip off this powder coat, then treat the rust, and then I could at least prep it to be powder coated with a fresh coat. Now, for anyone interested, this front tow hook here is made by Beatrush, and I purchased it through Rally Sport Direct about 4 years ago. I'll be sure to put a link in the description if you're interested, but the powder coat job on this is surprisingly thin. I've never seen powder coat as thin as on this tow hook, and that's kind of a shame because your tow hook is in the front of your car. It takes the most abuse. It gets hit with rocks and salt and all kind of stuff nonstop. So that's a big reason why I think this one is peeling, because if you look at the back, it's in much better shape than the front is. Now, this rear tow hook here is from a company called Red & Metal, and unfortunately, they're not in business anymore. I believe it was just one guy making these himself. But this tow hook is actually very good quality, despite the powder coat stripping. Again, this is about 4 years old, so it's to be expected. Powder coat is not indestructible, but this tow hook here cost me about 30 bucks. This one from Beatrush was like 150. So if you're looking for tow hooks, unfortunately, I can't recommend this because I don't believe they make it anymore. But $30, $150, and they're both in terrible shape at this point, but it's just the powder coat. So once I strip these down and re-powder coat them, they'll look good as new. Just a quick note on tow hooks. If you're going to buy one, please make sure it's steel. There's a lot of cheap knockoffs, Taiwanese brand ones that are mostly on eBay that are aluminum and they break. Usually these are called JDM, quote unquote. I don't know what the hell that means anymore because any company will slap the term JDM to whatever BS product they're trying to sell. But if you're buying a tow hook, it really needs to be steel so that it doesn't break. I had one years ago. I bought it just for the hell of it for like $60. And it couldn't even pull my car onto a flatbed without breaking. So if you're going to use one at all or think you might get one, I highly recommend getting a steel one. I know they cost a little bit more, but it's well worth it.
Too late to admit when you're wrong. Turn a new leaf, see a new dawn. The time to decide has come and gone. Just give me a chance, we can carry on. I made my choice, these drums of your voice, they run through my head as I remember the day. Stay in this moment.
Alright guys, I finally have a chance to work on these tow hooks again. I got sidetracked with my brake caliper project, which is a priority, and yesterday was Christmas, so I spent that time with my family, but now I have to get back to these tow hooks so I can get them back on my car. Now, before I started on my brake calipers, I had these soaking in Crud Cutter, which breaks through rust. I intended to let them soak for about 5 hours or so. They've been soaking for like 5 days. So it's pretty much all evaporated. It's kind of powdery. So I'm going to scrape that crap off. Then I'm going to hit it with a wire brush on my Dremel tool, some other wire brushes, scrape that off, get any last rust off, and then I'm going to prep it for paint. I'm going to spray it in my spray booth right over there, throw it in my oven and bake it, and then they could go back on the car. I've had a couple people ask what color I'm going with, whether I was going with neon yellow or something else. The brakes on my car are neon yellow, the hellos on my car are neon yellow. I cannot make these neon yellow. I think it would be cool, but I just can't do it. That's way too much yellow for me. And there's a fine line between doing something and overdoing something. So these tow hooks are going to stay red. However, I am going to add a top coat of the Glowbee Clear, so they'll also glow in the dark.
Never too late to admit when you're on. Turn a new leaf, see a new dawn. The time to decide has come and gone. Just give me a chance, we can carry on. I've made my choice, the strings of your voice, they run through my head as I remember the day. Stay in this moment. Stars fill the frame. They say we're lost without it. Today the stars will rewrite. Soon will guide us instead. I make the stars fill the frame. They say we're lost without it. Today the stars will rewrite. Soon will guide us instead. As this world will too late to admit when you're on. Turn a new leaf, see a new dawn. The time to decide has come and gone. Just give me a chance, we can carry on. I've made my choice, the strings of your voice, they run through my head as I remember the day. Stay in this moment.
It's not as drastic as a body kit, but this is a steering wheel from a 2015 STI, and car gods willing, it's going into my 06. And I say that because as far as I could tell, nobody's actually put a 15 plus STI steering wheel in a pre-2008 STI. I don't really see a reason why it can't be done, so I'm guessing it just hasn't been done. But I think it'll fit, hopefully will fit. The only issue that I see is that I probably won't be able to retain my volume controls, track control, and Bluetooth controls for my stereo.